Hello everybody, welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Cook Stuff, we are making Country Slow Cooker Casserole. This recipe's always been described to me as a casserole, but it's actually a stew. Summer is almost over. I know everybody's going to get busy with fall activities, and you need some recipes to keep in your back pocket that you can just kind of throw together and let the slow cooker take care of them. This is one of those. You probably already have all the ingredients you need in your kitchen, so let's get started. Alright, so what we're going to need to start with this casserole is 4 large potatoes, and I bought these at Aldi, and these were the biggest ones I could find. These 4 are about 2 pounds total. I will give you a cup measure because I'm going to peel and chop these, and sometimes all you end up with are little nuggets like this. Most of that bag was like this, unfortunately. And when you peel small potatoes, remember, you end up with a lot less potatoes. So I'll get you that cup measure too. We need 3 large carrots, and I will peel and slice these. I'm going to peel them because they are not organic. And I bought these at Aldi, and these were the 3 biggest ones I could find in the bag. Again, most of them were really skinny. They were like finger size. It was hard to find a bag with decent carrots in it. I need a 15-ounce can of sweet peas. Got these from Aldi. Going to drain these. I need 2 stalks of celery that I'm going to chop. 2 medium onions that I'm going to chop. For the meat, we are going to use a 13-ounce package of smoked sausage. I bought this at Aldi. I've never had it before, so we're going to find out what this is like. This is a 13-ounce package of turkey Polska kielbasa. This was about $2.69, so not a bad price. And I'm just going to chop that up as well. And then for flavoring, I have half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of seasoned salt. I have a teaspoon of mixed herbs, and when I say mixed herbs, you can use whatever kind of mixed herbs you want. If you want to use Italian seasoning, or if you just want to, if you wanted to go spicy and do something like a jerk seasoning, you could certainly do that. I am using the Stone Mill Table Blend. This is basically the knockoff Aldi version of Mrs. Dash's Table Blend, which is good. Table Blend just means it's super fine, and you can use it right at the table. It doesn't have to be cooked into something because it's not a lot of big pieces that need to be rehydrated. But I'm going to use that in this. It'll work fine. I've done this a million times before. Also have 3 tablespoons of flour here. That is going to be combined with our half cup of chicken stock, which is in a 2-cup measure, because I'm also going to combine that with this 10.5-ounce package, or 10.5-ounce can of cream of chicken soup, which I also got at Aldi. I've never used this before, but should work out just fine. This is it's also a product of Canada, so there is your Canadian bonus. So I've got to get busy peeling and chopping. We'll be back in a little bit and put this thing together. All right, so I have my 4-quart slow cooker here. This is actually the crock-pot brand, because this does have the crockery liner. As you can see, I've gone ahead and put some spray oil in there because I don't want things to stick. I did that off camera because it always flies back, and I don't need that all over my camera lens. And also, just a quick reminder, you don't have to write the recipes or the ingredients down. There's a link down below. You can go to my website and get a free printable copy of this. So don't worry about that. So let's get this all together. Here I have those 4 potatoes. This ended up being about 5 cups total, which is exactly what I wanted. We have our 3 carrots. This was about 2 cups all together. Going to go in with our peas. And somehow this just works. All right, our 2 stalks of celery. And about the celery, I'm taking this to some folks who don't like celery a whole lot. And what they don't like is and I missed a piece here. They don't like the stringiness. So what I did was I peeled this, because you can peel celery. But if you have somebody who doesn't like an ingredient, you have 2 options. You can either make it really small and hope that it just kind of melts away, or you can make it really big and they can just eat around it. And I've opted for the second item here. They can eat around this, but I wanted to be able to see it in here. Going in with our onions, and that seems like a lot of onions, but that's because I have cook them or cut them really small, and I do want these to cook down actually. And then the last big ingredient we have is our sausage. And I tasted this. I've never had this Aldi sausage before. I tasted it. It's not bad. It's not the smokiest sausage I've ever tasted, to be honest with you. It's lightly smoked. It's very lightly smoked. But anyway, here is our chicken broth mixed with the herbs and salt and pepper and the chicken stock and the 3 tablespoons of flour. And I tell you, I put that Aldi cream of chicken soup in here, and I was whisking the heck out of this, and I could not get the lumps out of it. And then I realized, oh, those are just big chunks of chicken. So this Aldi cream of chicken soup has bigger chunks of chicken than the Campbell's does. So I'm just going to pour this all over the top. There we are. And because this had chicken stock in it, most of it comes out fairly easily. There we go. That is done. I'm just going to spread this around. And this crock pot is right at its limit. You always want your crock pot to be somewhere between at least halfway full and about ½ inch from the top. And this is just about halfway from the top. So I'm going to run this over to the kitchen because I've got this on the dining room table. And I'm going to put this on low. I'm going to cook this for about 4 hours. And then I'm going to come in and give it a stir and see how things are cooking. If it seems really watery, I'll take the lid and I'll just kind of set it aside, or maybe put a spoon or a chopstick under it to vent it a little bit. But if it doesn't, I'll just leave it on. That 4-hour check is going to tell me if this needs to cook for another 1 hour or another 2 hours. So this is not an 8-hour cook for a slow cooker recipe. So I'm going to get this over to the stove, or sorry, over to the kitchen, get a lid on it, and we'll be back in 4 hours. All right, so it's been 4 hours. I actually did look at this earlier, and there did not seem to be enough liquid in there. So I added an extra cup of water and gave everything a stir. So I'm just going to give everything a stir again, and it looks like this time things are coming along. And I'm thinking, I would like that to be a little bit thicker, but so this is probably going to go the full 6 hours, which is fine. I'm going to get in here with a spoon and taste this broth. And these vegetables, I can tell just by touching these potatoes, they're not quite done yet. So, in fact, they're not super even close to being done. So, yeah, I'm just going to come in here and taste this broth and see how this tastes. Oh, it's really good. So I'm going to put this back on the heat for another hour and take a look at it, and I might take the lid off and just set it ajar a little bit at that point, but it looks like this is going to go the full 6 hours. I'm going to taste this sausage, see if my impression has changed any. Not really. It's kind of mediocre sausage. It's not very smoky, not very flavorful. So, lesson learned, but it was only like $2.50. So, all right, we'll come back in a couple hours when this thing is finished. All right, so it has been 6 hours, and whoosh, steam. Lots and lots of steam, and you can see this is cooked down a little bit. I did have the lid set askew for part of this. Now I've been going in and tasting this sausage, and steam. I've been going in and tasting this sausage, and I'm not super impressed with it. So I thought, how can we add just a little bit more flavor here at the end? And my solution was to get about 4 ounces of cheddar cheese and shred it up, and I'm just gonna stir that in. You can see it's gotten really nice and thick though, and this is going to make it even thicker, but cheese does make everything really, really good. So there we go. Put a little bit more in. I'm going to save just a bit to garnish on the top. All right. Wow. Okay. Much better, but you can see this is nice and thick. Even though I call it a slow cooker casserole, it's not the texture, the consistency of a casserole. It's more like a really hearty stew. But, you know, you kind of throw it together like a casserole. You just throw everything in a dish and bake it and don't worry about it. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to serve some up and see what we think. I'm going to butter up some bread because that would go really well with this, and be back with you in just a second. All right, so here we go. I put a little bit more cheese on top. This is the Aldi extra sharp cheddar, which is those little Happy Farms, I think is the brand name. Those are really, really good cheeses. So I'm going to come in here and just get a bite of a carrot and potato, and everything's cooked perfectly tender. So, and you can see the sauce is thickened up really nicely. Wow. I'm not super impressed with this turkey sausage. It's not really adding a lot of flavor to the dish. But it is absolutely, wow, this is really good. The cheese really made all the difference in the world. So, yeah, wow, this is really, really good. So, and I'm not a big fan of canned peas. I've got some under here, though. I like frozen peas better. But, wow, that is just so good. I did get myself some bread here, some buttered bread. Oops. And I'm just gonna dip it in that sauce, because that's really what that is. It's thick like a sauce. Wow. Wow. Oh. That is super good. Oh yeah. All right. This is a winner. You can chop everything up the night before. Keep the carrots and potatoes underwater. The celery and onions and the meat you can just keep separately in a bowl with the lid on it. And then in the morning, just drain the potatoes and carrots, throw everything in the crock pot, and turn it on low and head out the door. And when you get back, you'll have this meal. All you have to do is add the cheese. So if you had some leftover sausage, like bratwurst or something that you had grilled, that would be really fantastic in here. Just slice it up and throw it in here. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna have to shut off the camera so I can finish eating this. This is really super good. Wow, even with subpar sausage. Wow. Oh, it's amazing. And that's it, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you make this and enjoy it. If you do, please let us know, especially if there's anything that you tweaked. I think everybody else would love to see what you've done with it. As always, please like, comment, or subscribe. All of those things are free, especially if you have questions, leave a comment. I'd love to answer your questions for you. There is a link down below to the recipe with all the ingredients, so you can just print that out. You don't have to scribble things down as you go. There's also a link for some additional ways you can support this channel. As always, stay safe, eat tasty food, and power to the proletariat. We will see you next time.